Hi, and welcome to Word of the Day. And today we're going to be talking about trials and tribulations. We're going to get our chapter reference from James chapter 1. Count it all joy when you go through various trials and tribulations. The testing of your faith produces perseverance. The unfortunate thing is, perseverance is not a quality that just comes without us going through something. Perseverance comes as a result of going through stuff and having to wait and not losing the hope and the faith that we had in the beginning. And perseverance is one of those qualities that is enlisted, or that is mentioned in the Bible, that it's a good quality to have. So whenever we ask God for something, we should not lose hope. We should always trust that He has our best interest at heart. He always wants us to do well as His children. Everything that He ever created, everything that is ever good in this world, is for us to enjoy. So if something is taking time, there's a reason why it's taking time. If you go to Ecclesiastes says everything is beautiful in its time. There is a time for everything. So when we ask God for something, it doesn't happen in that very time that we want. We shouldn't think that maybe it won't happen, or let's just forget about it. We should try and be single-minded. What it means to be single-minded is we should continue focusing and we should continue believing on that very thing that we want. When we become double-minded now, thinking that because of the time frame, this very thing may not happen, then it just throws us off. A good example is that of Abraham and Sarah. Abraham eventually became the father of many nations, but it did not happen in a day. It took a while for him to have a child. But then the promise that God gave him still came through. When you look at the story of Joseph, for instance, it took him time from the time that he had the dream and how he became a very important official in Egypt. He went through trials and he went through tribulations. But he did not forget what God had promised him. He did not waver. He still trusted God. And in the end, it still came through for him. So this is a good lesson in our lives as well, that time does not mean that you've been denied the very thing that God promised you, because God plants things in our hearts. And then we always know in our hearts that, something will happen in our lives. But then it may not happen in that very time that we thought it would happen. But that does not mean that it's not going to happen. So during that time that we are waiting, our character is being molded. We are being made ready for that very thing that God promised us. It doesn't mean that God has totally cancelled that very thing that you're believing for, or the very thing that you asked Him for. So that's where perseverance comes handy. So we should always know that even if things take time, they will still happen. We should still believe and we should trust God. Everything happens in its perfect timing. God's timing is the best time for everything. So for today, we are just going to leave it here. Thank you for watching.